Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyadyarisha Dharine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyatishatharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranidhai Jaya Gauranidhai 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 Jaya Gauranidhai Gauranidhai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Jaya Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Nitai Sachisundara, Jaya Nitai Sachisundara, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya 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 Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya 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 Krishna Balaram, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahams Bhattakacharya Satarasada Sri Srimadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahams Bhattakacharya Satarasada Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Shri Giri Govardhana ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur ki jai. Ganga Maya Muna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktarinda ki jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Hari Bol. Welcome Amit, welcome Prakash. And I hope Ritu and Prabhu and Amrita Radha Mataji can join us later on too. That is Bhagavad Gita Chapter 6, Jnana Yoga, text 45. When the yogi engages himself in sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination, then ultimately achieving perfection, after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Of course, the previous verse would be quite important, because we have, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So previously we have the yogi who, after a short practice of his yoga, he falls away from the path due to various reasons, material attachments or offenses, and then he will take birth in his next life in an aristocratic family, which is a good birth. He gets a chance to make further progress. And the yogi who has fallen away from the path, after long practice, he even gets a better birth, a better situation, being born in a family of transcendentalists. Such a birth is very rare. So now we have the yogi who became attracted like an iron to the magnet due to his previous birth. So he will engage himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress. Determined, being washed of all contaminations. So contaminations, what are the contaminations? The contaminations can be mainly of two kinds, namely of desiring fruitive activities, fruitive results, karma. And the contamination can be of mental speculation, like the jnani, or the impersonalist speculator, or the mayavadi. So these are contaminations of mental speculation and of desiring fruitive results, to enjoy the fruitive results. That's not pure bhakti. Pure bhakti, as we know, has been defined by Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as jnana karma anavritam anyukulyena krishnana shilanam bhaktim uttamaha. So bhaktim uttamaha is the topmost bhakti. Jnana karma, free from jnana and karma. Free from fruitive activities and free from mental speculation. That we want to become. If there is still some karma, some material tendency to enjoy this material world, and some tendency for mental speculation, then these are impurities. That's not pure bhakti. So it will take some time, many, maybe even lifetimes, which explained, Lord Krishna explained, after many births and deaths, the jnanis, the mental speculators, or those who are attracted by the impersonal feature of Krishna, after many births and deaths, they will come to the conclusion eventually, if they're sincere, that they should surrender to Krishna, the person Krishna, not the impersonal aspect of Krishna. Some people are deluded, and with all kind of word jugglery, they're trying to prove that the Brahman is the ultimate reality. But as we know, that Brahman is a feature of Krishna. Brahman is an effulgence of Krishna. We cannot say the effulgence is the ultimate reality of something. The effulgence comes from something. And Brahman is the effulgence of Krishna. And it has been explained. It is a effulgence of Krishna reflected from his toenails. So how much more beautiful and effulgent and opulent is that person from whom these shining rays emanate, illuminating everything. That effulgence of Krishna is illuminating everything. As it is explained in Bhagavad Gita, in the spiritual sky, in the spiritual world, no sunshine, no moonlight, no electricity is needed because of that Brahman effulgence of the Lord. Everything is illuminated by itself. So that's the spiritual world, the spiritual sky. And we have many times explained in that Brahman effulgence, then all the spiritual planets are floating, all the Vaikuntha planets. We're speaking of the spiritual world. They are floating in that and on that Brahma Jyoti, on that effulgence. So that is a powerful effulgence of the Lord. So we should not, when some impersonalists, speculators, they conclude the ultimate reality is Brahman. That Brahman we're speaking about right now, that's the ultimate reality. And any form or individuality, this is just Maya illusion. Of course, this is not the case, and all the Vedas, and in particular Bhagavad Gita, speaks differently. The culmination of Bhagavad Gita is in the 18th chapter, 66. Surrender unto me, Krishna says. Surrender unto me. Very important verse, the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita. Me, who is that me? Krishna, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. Not the impersonal interpretation like the first president of India, Dr. Radha Krishna, in his edition of Bhagavad Gita, he translates, we have to not surrender to Krishna, but to that eternal within Krishna, right? And trying to circumvent that, we have to actually surrender to the person Krishna. No, not to that. Srila Prabhupada speaks about that. That is utterly a misinterpretation of surrendering to that eternal within Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada gives the argument, there is no within and without of Krishna. There is not inside and outside, not like we. That's a material concept, that we think Krishna, the inside of Krishna, is different than the outside. Our inside as soul is different than our outside material body, yes. But Krishna is not like this. Krishna is fully spiritual. There is no difference between inside and outside. So how can anyone say we surrender to that eternality within Krishna? No. That's a poor font of knowledge. So that's impersonal interpretation. So Krishna, who's standing before Arjuna, he speaks Bhagavad Gita and he says to Arjuna, surrender unto me. Me, the person, aham, I. It's very clear. Bhagavad Gita does not need any interpretation because it's very, very clear. So that yogi, when he's washed of all contamination of karma and jnana, then ultimately, Lord Krishna says, he achieves perfection. After many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. So in comparison, devotional service is so wonderful. It doesn't need many, many births of practice. In particular, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotees, most cannot even appreciate who Srila Prabhupada really is. Taking those who haven't surrendered to Srila Prabhupada, who don't understand, who haven't even surrendered their lives on nothing, who are on the material platform, who are on the mental platform, impersonalist, speculators, they're on the mental platform. It's all in the intellect, all word jugglery and nothing of any depth. They cannot understand. Neither can they understand Bhagavad Gita, Because Krishna says, I speaking this Bhagavad Gita to you, Arjuna, because you are my devotee and my friend. So anyone who is not a devotee of Krishna means surrendering to Krishna. How we surrender to Krishna? Through the bona fide spiritual master in the parampara system. The impersonal is rejecting the parampara system. That's not needed. We don't need parampara. We can explain Bhagavad Gita by our own mental speculation. That is not the case. They will be deluded. They will be baffled. Srila Prabhupada used that word. They will be baffled in their endeavor to understand the absolute truth. So the parampara system, the disciplic succession, is very, very important. And Krishna says at the beginning of creation, I have spoken this Bhagavad Gita, the science of God, the science of Bhagavad Gita to the sun god. And he passed it down to Ikshvaku and Manu, and it came into the human societies. That knowledge, it was originally intended for the Kshatriyas, highly developed consciousness. The Kshatriyas are not ordinary people, as much as Arjuna wasn't an ordinary person. So that has been given to the ruling class, to the Kshatriyas, and then it was passed down and passed down and passed down. And Arjuna was baffled. How, Krishna, you are my contemporary, about my age. How comes this knowledge was given by you to the sun god, that is millions and millions of years earlier? And then Krishna smiled. Krishna is always smiling. Even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, always smiling. Why is Krishna smiling? Because Krishna knows the outcome of everything. So we may get caught up and, I'm suffering, I have this problem and that problem. And Krishna is so transcendental to all our problems, he's just smiling. Oh, my little child, why are you worrying so much? You're my devotee, I protect you. And if we are linked with Krishna, then we also can smile at all this material duality in this material world. There's all this trouble. We're not getting caught up, as we have given that example. We don't get caught up in the movie. We're just observing the movie. We're not getting caught up. Very easy to get caught up in the action. So, but we need to be transcendental, keeping everything we do 24 hours keeping connected with Krishna. And we can also smile. The biggest problems may come our way, and we're just smiling. We know this is just a temporary manifestation of something. The absolute truth is very different. So, after having been questioned by Arjuna, Krishna says, Arjuna, you and I have been together in this battle for a long, long time, because this pastime of the Kurukshetra battle is a pastime with Krishna and Arjuna and all the other personalities. That has been going on since time immemorial in different universes, on different planets. It's not just Kurukshetra war once and then finished, like Western historical thought is just once something takes place and that's it, and then it's past. No. History, they say, and we could say like that, history repeats itself. This battle of Kurukshetra repeats itself. So Krishna says, Arjuna, you and I have been together in this. We have acting out this pastime since time immemorial on different planets in different universes. But you have forgotten, and I have not. No, that's Krishna. He never forgets. He remembers all of this. But Arjuna has forgotten, therefore he couldn't remember that Krishna spoke the science of devotion to the sun god. And then, after some time, it's a long time since the beginning of creation, then Krishna says he came again for that purpose, not only, there are other purposes, but for that purpose to speak that science again to Arjuna. Because Arjuna is representing all of us. We are all Arjuna. Because someone may say that's not relevant. Arjuna was a soldier, a warrior, and I'm not a soldier and a warrior. These are some external differences. Anyone who is eager to unlock the Bhagavad Gita, the secrets of the Gita, he will not be hung up by these external differences. Arjuna could have been Vaishya or anything else. No, Arjuna was a Kshatriya. That is just the external circumstances. But going deeper into the mystery of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has been lifted from his ignorance, his bodily identity, his bodily identification. Because on the outset of all that drama of the Kurukshetra war, when Arjuna said, Krishna, please draw my chariot, after, of course, Krishna has agreed to be Arjuna's chariot driver. Because there was a scene when the battle was unavoidable, the Mahabharata, the Kurukshetra battle, because the Duryodhana's camp didn't want to compromise. Even Krishna himself went to Duryodhana's camp for a peace settlement. Let's settle this. We don't need to go to war. Just the Pandavas, because the Kshatriyas and Kshatriyas have to rule. Kshatriyas have to rule. Vaishyas have to produce food and protect the cows. Brahmanas have to teach. So Kshatriyas have to rule, like a king. A king without a kingdom is not a king. A king needs a kingdom. A Kshatriya needs, like kings, needs a kingdom. And the Pandavas have been so much compromising. They want to avoid that battle with the Kauravas, with Duryodhana and all the other warriors who have sided with Duryodhana, including Bhishma and Drona. They want to avoid that. Therefore they proposed, Krishna, when you go to Duryodhana's camp, just tell them we are satisfied with just 5 villages, a village for each of us. We don't need a big kingdom. If you rule over a village, every one of us, Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadev, just a village. So give us 5 villages of the kingdom. Also, we are the proper inheritance of that entire kingdom. We just asking for 5 villages. Then we can avoid the war. So Krishna went and he proposed. Just give them 5 villages. And what came from Duryodhana? Not as much land as fits on the tip of a needle. So, no compromise. The battle has to take place. And on top of that, Duryodhana, he wanted to capture Krishna. He thought, now Krishna has come to our camp, we capture Krishna, then the Pandavas will be so much aggrieved and disturbed, because they knew the Pandavas are very much attached to Krishna. said they cannot fight anymore. So try to capture Krishna. But who can capture Krishna? Nobody can capture Krishna. Krishna showed his universal form and everyone was spellbound, and Krishna walked out of that assembly. So how did it come that Krishna was taking the side of Arjuna? When the battle was unavoidable, then Duryodhana was very eager to get Krishna's military support. Krishna had armies at that point, many armies. And both camps, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, they tried to get military support. Some kings took the side of the Pandavas and others took the side of the Kauravas. So Duryodhana went to Krishna to get his support, to persuade him, fight on our side. Allegiances, allies, like every war, there's some allies. So Arjuna also went to Krishna at the same time. And both arrived actually at the same time, and Krishna was taking some rest. So Arjuna, being humble, Krishna as his friend, he stood by Krishna's feet. And Duryodhana, he thought, well, I position myself at Krishna's head. When he wakes up, I'm close to him. Arjuna is also here. Hello, Arjuna. So I have the better position. I'm at Krishna's head. So immediately I can ask him first, Krishna, please fight on our side. Arjuna took the humble position at Krishna's feet. And when Krishna woke up, where does someone look when they wake up? Right towards his feet. There were the Rituan also very much here. Yes, thank you, Hare Krishna. So he looked at his feet and he said, oh, Arjuna, nice to see you. What can I do for you? So the Duryodhana, Krishna gave the choice to both of them. I will not fight in the battle, because I will just stay neutral. But you can have my armies, all my military. You can have it, or you can have just myself without armies. And materially deluded Duryodhana, what would he choose? Oh yes, I want Krishna's armies, we have to fight. He has so much military power, so yes, Krishna, I will take your armies. And Arjuna, being a friend of Krishna, what did he choose? I'm happy to have you, Krishna, on our side. I'm happy, just you. I want you, Krishna. That's a devotee's position. We want Krishna. In a materialist position, we want Krishna's energy. We want Krishna's opulence. We want Krishna's power. Because a materialistic person, they want to enjoy God's energy. This opulence is all that. All the material energies and material opulences, and they want to enjoy God's energy in the form of resources, in the form of all of what material energy provides, without giving credit to God. But the devotee, he just wants to love Krishna. That was Arjuna's position, just to love Krishna. And Krishna says, yes, I will be by your side, but I will not take part in the fight. Okay, Arjuna was happy to have just Krishna. If we love someone, we don't care about that person may have so much opulence. You can have my car, my house, my TV, and all my bank account, or all of that, or you can have just me. Yes, we want Krishna. We don't care about to enjoy the opulences. Out of love, a devotee will choose Krishna. So Krishna took the role as Arjuna's charioteer, chariot driver. So the battle line, everything was aligned, and Arjuna asking Krishna, please, can you draw the chariot in the middle of the armies, because the armies had transformed in some battle lines, stretching as far as the horizon. They had assembled the different foot soldiers, and others on the horses, and others on elephants, and there are bowmen, and there are others who are good at the mace and spears, and so different divisions of the armies. You have seen in old movies this kind of armies where they kneeling down or standing up with the shields in front of them, and behind are the bowmen, and they're shooting, and any arrows are coming, they are deflected by the shields as protective shield, like that. And then Arjuna, of course, he saw his relatives on the other side, and his guru, Dronacharya, Arjuna's guru, military guru. He gave the military arts, he trained the Pandavas and the Kauravas in the military art, how to fight. So naturally someone gives us some training and some knowledge, we are obliged. It will be eternally our guru. So how can we kill our guru? And grandfather Bhishma was there on the other side, and so many others. So Arjuna, he declined to fight. I cannot fight that. How can I? Even if I win this battle, and he was positive, I will win this battle, because he's the greatest archer altogether. I win this battle, but then everybody else will be killed. How can I enjoy the kingdom when everybody else is dead? All my relatives and everything, because enjoyment on our own is not very palatable. Just imagine. We have all the opulences of this material world, everything on our fingertips, but there is nobody left on this planet Earth. We are the only person on this planet Earth. We can have everything. Everybody left everything behind, from the most wonderful cars to airplanes to everything. Will that be enjoyable? Can we enjoy anything if we are alone? No, we can't. Enjoyment means sharing our happiness and sharing that enjoyment with others. Like, we can eat a meal alone, that's okay. But if we share a meal with family and loved ones, that's even more enjoyable. We can talk about the meal. Oh, what is that nice preparation? Oh, who cooked that? And how did you cook it? And so many things. So that was Arjuna's thinking. How can I fight and kill everyone, and then I have the kingdom, but everybody is dead? How can I enjoy the kingdom? That is, of course, a material calculation. But Arjuna is playing that part of materialist. And then he was so much confused he declined to fight. Very big confused. He had a breakdown. He cried. He dropped his weapons. He sat down on the chariot. And then Krishna started to speak Bhagavad Gita to him. And there comes a point in the second chapter where Arjuna says, Karpanya dosha pahatasva pava prichchami, and so on. Now I am your disciple. So Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. He accepted Krishna as his guru. Very important. And so should we. Everybody needs a guru, a spiritual master. Nobody should think I can solve this puzzle of getting out of this material world on my own. That's exactly what the jnani, the impersonal speculator, tries to do. I don't need a guru. I don't need Krishna. I will work it out myself. Because they are baffled. And will have to undergo many, many births and deaths. And eventually, because they're looking for a solution of this material suffering, eventually they will come to the understanding to surrender to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavam Prapatyante Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So such a person who comes to the conclusion to surrender to Krishna is very rare. It's a Mahatma, a great soul. Mahatmas are not political leaders. Generally that is called also Mahatma, but that's not the real meaning of Mahatma. Mahatma is someone who surrenders to Krishna. He's a great soul. So then the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna was established as guru, as spiritual master and disciple. And everything changed from that point on. Everything changed. While Arjuna thought of himself and his own enjoyment previously, now he was acting on Krishna's behalf. And on Saturday we spoke about this very thing, and I asked her, what example can be given? Because the question was put forward by someone, not on the forum. Krishna says we are not the doer. Right? Bhagavad Gita says we are not the doer. How come we getting karma? That was a question he posed. And so I posted to Ben and Vashna Mataji, and it has been discussed in our previous podcast as well. We are not the doer. How come we getting karma? Well, if we are not the doer, we don't get karma. Who is a doer? If we are surrendered to Krishna, Krishna is a doer. Example, Vashna Mataji came up with an example, and that is the standard example. A soldier in the war, he is fighting under superior authority, under his officers. Does he get punished if he killed someone of the so-called enemies? No. When he comes home, he gets a medal. So more enemies he has killed, he's getting a big medal. So he doesn't get any reaction. He's not punished. He's not getting any karma. He's acting on the authority of his superiors, of his officers, lieutenant. But if that same soldier, after the war is over, if he goes to the street and starts shooting, he will be punished, because he is not under superior order. So it's the same way here. If we are surrendered to Krishna, we are acting on Krishna's behalf. There will be no karma. Krishna says in 1866, Sarva dharma bhajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Surrender unto me, I will protect you from all karma. And the question was raised, what? Karma now? What about the past karma? No, all karma, past and present. I protect you, and future. If we are acting on Krishna's behalf, in full Krishna consciousness, there are no karmic reactions at all. Krishna takes responsibility of us, just like the officer takes responsibility of the soldier, the foot soldier. So, the question, if we are not the doer, how come we getting karma? No, we don't get karma if we're not the doer. But if we think we are the doer and act as if we are the doer, ahankara vimutadma kartaham iti manyate, the spirit soul, under the influence of false ego, ahankara, thinks himself the doer of activities which are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So, if we identify as a doer and not surrender to Krishna, then we get the karma. If we act on our own behalf, we have to get the karma. We get the reactions. If we act on Krishna's behalf in full Krishna consciousness, no karma. So that is the answer to this question. If we are not the doer, how come we get in karma? Okay, here in this Kurukshetra battle, Arjuna decided to accept Krishna as his spiritual master, so no karmic reaction at all. And that's our example. We should act on Krishna's behalf. The external setting was different. He was a Kshatriya, he was in the middle of the battle. But we are also fighting our own battles. In so many ways, we're fighting battles. Every day we're fighting battles. In different ways. We're fighting battles even with our own mind suggesting so many crazy things. That's perverted things. Concoction. Material enjoyment is a concoction of the mind. So we have our own battles. So if we take shelter of Krishna, in full surrender to Krishna, then we will win all these battles. We're beyond these battles. These battles don't touch us. We'll be transcendental to these battles. If we are not, then we are caught up in the web of action and reaction, and in the web of birth and death. Krishna says, if you surrender unto me, you will come to me. No karma, you will come to me. And Srila Prabhupada, in his most wonderful position of being, so to speak, the right-hand man of Krishna, being so close to Krishna, we cannot even imagine, but these are very confidential topics. How close? Who is Srila Prabhupada in the spiritual world? So close to Krishna. He has negotiated with Krishna that anyone who follows his Bhakti Yoga is surrendered and follows these four principles, these four regulations of no meat, no fish, no eggs, no intoxication, no illicit sexual activity, no gambling, and chant 16 rounds. That simple recipe. he will be able to go back to the spiritual world in this very lifetime. So that contrasts with a yogi, achieving perfection after many, many births of practice. So the yogi has to undergo many, many births of practice. But if we, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who has negotiated a special deal with Krishna, a special deal, because the people are so fallen in this age of Kali, so fallen. So those who, Vijay, Hare Krishna, welcome, very late, but you have missed quite a bit now. Anyway, you're here, Hare Krishna. So, a special deal has been negotiated to get us out of this material entanglement, while the yogi has to achieve perfection after many, many births and deaths. So just see in what a wonderful position we are. And of course that's all linked up with Lord Chaitanya, who came and gave his mercy. So Srila Prabhupada quotes here, Bhagavad Gita 7:28, Tvesham katam yesham tvandakatam papam janmanam punyakarmanam. After many births of executing pious activities, one is completely freed from all contamination and from all illusory dualities. One becomes engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So devotees have asked Srila Prabhupada, now if we can only engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord after many pious activities, and we be freed from all contaminations and from the illusory dualities of this world, happiness, distress, all these other dualities. So how can we have been living very sinful lives. We have been taking drugs, we have been so many illicit sexual connections. This was our life. Gambling, yes. Meat eating, yes. Fish, eggs, yes. We have broken all these principles of pious life. So how can we be coming to that stage of transcendental loving service of the Lord? We have no pious credits at all. That's the devotees were asking Srila Prabhupada. So how can we come to the devotional service without any pious credits? Here Krishna says, after many births of pious credits, freed completely from contamination, then one can engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. But we have no pious credits. Who knows what Srila Prabhupada's answer was? Who can say? Amrita Radhimatachi or Rituan.
Well, Prabhupada said, I gave you the credits, the pious credits.
How?
By bringing I'm not sure. By bringing them to Krishna consciousness like that, that's what he meant? I'm not sure.
Yes, he said, I created your pious credits by engaging you in chanting Hare Krishna. That has created, the chanting of Hare Krishna has created the pious credits. So, qualified. So, again, Srila Prabhupada has negotiated a special deal for us to go back home, to get out of this material, to stop death and to stop birth again and again and again by this simple process of Krishna consciousness. So that is most wonderful. While the yogi, he has to undergo many births and deaths to gradually become free from all contaminations. Okay. Anyone has a question? at this stage. Amit, let's start with Amit. What's your question? Don't say no, Prabhu, no question. Question, Amit. Are you there? Yes.
Yeah, no problem. I'm kind of listening, and it kind of makes sense. So it's difficult to ask a question when I can't.
You can't make sense. Are you saying you cannot make sense?
No, I mean it makes sense. It's
What
I guess.
What is difficult to make sense of? Let me hear.
No, it's not difficult to make sense. This is what I'm saying. It kind of, what you're saying is quite enlightening.
Well, I'm not saying. Krishna is saying. Srila Prabhupada is saying. I'm just repeating. So,
I guess only question I can is, how can you guarantee that you're not gonna have rebirth in your next lifetime?
Said we don't take another birth, basically, right? How can we guarantee? Well, we must have a little bit of faith. At least such much faith that we understanding and faith in Krishna's words. Sarva Dhammam Parijyatya, surrender unto me. Give up all other engagements. Give up all other philosophies. Give up all what I have taught you. We spoke about. Religion means not religion in the sense of Catholic and Protestant and Hindu and Muslim. No, Krishna is not speaking of these religions. Krishna is speaking Dharma. It's difficult to translate. Give up all the Dharma, Sarva Dharma, and all the Dharmas. Krishna is basically asking Arjuna, all what I have spoken about, jnana yoga, karma yoga, ashtanga yoga, all the different yogas, all the different processes, just give it up. The highest benefit you will reach just by surrendering to me. Because it's very laborious, it's very, like in this verse today, the yogi has to undergo many birth and death. So, but the devotee who surrenders to Krishna surrenders to a bona fide spiritual master, and through him to Krishna. That we must also clearly understand. We cannot surrender to Krishna directly. Krishna does not want this. Krishna is saying, surrender to my devotee. When Raghunath Das Goswami was wanting to join Lord Chaitanya told him, no, don't. Surrender unto me. First you surrender unto Nityananda. Nityananda is a manifestation of the spiritual master. So Lord Chaitanya, same thing. First surrender unto Nityananda. Then you will reach me. And he did. And our Rituan Prabhu, he has been in Panihati recently, on his recent trip to India. So at Panihati, that was a place where Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the Goswamis, a very significant direct disciple of Lord Chaitanya, significant personality. So much austerity he underwent. So much that he eventually ended up taking the rice which was offered to Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, in Jagannath's temple, which has gone off and thrown over the wall, and even the cows wouldn't touch it. That rice he took, washed it, and just the inner piece, the inner part of that rice, that he ate. And when Lord Chaitanya heard of these great austerities, he went to that place and forcibly he took some of that rice and ate it. He said, that's the most delicious food. Why? Because there's so much love and austerity for Krishna's sake. So that Raghunath Das he came from a very wealthy family, Kayashta family, merchant family. And he was attracted by Lord Chaitanya. And he was running away from home many times, and his parents were very rich, aristocratic merchant family. They always sent, when he disappeared, he sent some servants and they got him back. Then they married him. Surely that will bind him to the house. They wanted, parents don't want their sons going away. Sometimes the sons becoming devotees and joining the ashram, joining the Hare Krishna, the ashram, and the parents get him back. They're not happy about that. Yes, it's good you be spiritual, but not too much. Our Chaitanya Nidai, he was in that situation. He wanted to join Bhaktivedanta Manor, and his parents said, no, get married. They married him. So he never came to joining Bhaktivedanta Manor, but he became such a beautiful devotee, even in the Grihastha ashram. So Raghunath Das succeeded one day, and he ran away from home, and on the order of Lord Chaitanya to first take the mercy of Nitai, he went to Panihati, and there he offered his obeisances from the distance. So humble he was, from the distance, like Arjuna. So humble he was. He took position at Krishna's feet. And so proud was Duryodhana, he took position at Krishna's head. So much pride. Pride is found in the impersonalist speculators. Immense pride in their own intellectual abilities and speculation. No humility, or not much, if any. But the devotee is very humble. So the impersonalists are like Duryodhans. They're unable to surrender. Neither are they able to surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. All they surrender is surrendered to their mental and intellectual abilities. They surrender to themselves, basically, under so many guises. So Raghunath Das, he offered his obeisances from the distance, and someone pointed out, Lord Nityananda was there on a raised platform. And so many devotees assembled around him. Someone pointed out, here is Raghunath Das offering obeisances from a distance. And he immediately said, thief, you're a thief, come here, I will punish you. Why thief? Because the thief always stays in the distance. He doesn't come close. So he called him thief. And on the order of Nitai, Raghunath Das had to come. He came in front of Lord Nityananda and offered his obeisances. And the punishment, well, Lord Nityananda put his foot on his head. What a benediction. If we get Lord Chaitanya's or Lord Nityananda's or our spiritual master's foot on our head, our life is perfect. So much mercy. And then he said, your punishment is you have to prepare a feast for all the Vaishnavas here. You have to prepare 2 pots of sweet rice with condensed milk and sweet rice with yogurt. And then a big feast was arranged, because Raghunath Das, he had so many resources. So he arranged, and it became a big festival, and people came from all the villages. The word spread around very quickly. When there is a big feast, the word spreads around very quickly. And everybody comes there. And the banana sellers came, and so many other sellers with their carts or their produce, and so it became a marketplace outside that assembly, and then bananas with rice, chipped rice. It was chipped rice, and condensed milk and yogurt. So bananas go also very well with it. Though the point is that Raghunath Das was instructed by Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself. You surrendered to Nitai, the embodiment of the spiritual master. So thinking we can just establish our relationship with Krishna without Guru is a non-starter. Krishna does not like that, as Lord Chaitanya did not like that. We have to humble ourselves, so our pride will be curbed. So as devotees, we have Srila Prabhupada. We are so fortunate. Such a personality as Srila Prabhupada came just 40 years ago. We are extremely fortunate. Lord Krishna has been here 5,000 years ago. That's not that long. Looking at the time span of a day of Lord Brahma, because Lord Krishna comes once in a day of Lord Brahma to every universe. Once in a day, that's millions and millions of years. Only once in a day of Lord Brahma, Krishna appears. And Lord Chaitanya appeared only 500 years ago, 5 generations. That's not much. We are doubly blessed. And then these great devotees of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gokishore Das Babaji, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and then finally Srila Prabhupada. In succession, there came great, elevated Vaishnavas, Acharyas, spiritual masters, to give us the mercy. The question could be asked, why Krishna sent so many powerful acharyas in such a short time? Well, we needed it. We needed it to get us out of this material entanglement. The path is wide open. Lord Chaitanya has opened the treasure house of love of God. And Srila Prabhupada, in a special negotiation, had negotiated the deal with Krishna to take us back in this very lifetime out of this dualism of this material world. Stop birth and death. So we are indeed very fortunate. But the price is we have to surrender to the pure devotee, and through the pure devotee to Krishna. Ritarati or Ritu and Prabhu, any questions or any comments?
No, Prabhuji. So just like wanted to, I heard from one of the devotees, like as you mentioned, like Nityananda Prabhu called Raghunath Das Goswami a thief. One is like as you mentioned, he was like always hiding from the other devotees. The other I heard from one of the from some devotees that just like if somebody takes someone else's property without asking, he's called a thief. So Nityananda Prabhu was also mentioning that Nityananda Prabhu is Adi Guru Balaram. So Krishna is his property. So before coming to Panihati, Raghunath Das Goswami tried many a times to directly approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was rejected each and every time. So here also Nityananda Prabhu wanted to emphasize that Krishna is Guru's property. So you have to approach Guru first, and Guru can give you Krishna. And so if you directly want to approach Krishna without taking shelter of the Guru, is basically like you are a thief. You are trying to confiscate Guru's property without approaching the Guru.
Oh, isn't
So
that
just wanted
beautiful?
to,
Thank you. That's most wonderful. Krishna is Guru's property. The impersonalists cannot understand that. They have an aversion of surrendering to anybody except themselves. So Guru is the one who can give Krishna. So we have to surrender to Guru to get Krishna. Krishna has arranged it like that. That's a very beautiful explanation. So if we think we can approach Krishna directly without Gurus, then we become a thief and will be punished. Thank you for that beautiful comment. Amrita Radhe, Mataji, anything? Or she's in the kitchen?
So she has gone to the kitchen. So
Yes.
I'm just here.
Okay.
Yeah, with Tejas.
Vichai, what about you? Any question? Make it short.
Okay. I'll make it short.
Summary.
I was reading last week. I can't remember. It was something to do with the let's have a look. I've wrote it down somewhere. The Bhakti Rashmita Bindu. The devotional
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Bhakti
Rasa Amrita, right?
Yeah.
Rasa is a taste. Amrita is a nectar. So Rasa Amrita, Rasamrita. Sindhu, an ocean, a nectar ocean of tastes that points in the direction of our tastes. We have different tastes. We can approach Krishna in Goloka with different tastes. We may have the taste of Sakyaras, friendship with Krishna. We may have the taste of parental relationship, or of gopi, Madhurya ras, or of servant, that ras. Also in this material world there are many rasas. Material rasas, we have different tastes. Even a simple example in food. Everyone has a different taste, and it seems almost from birth. We have some persons have a taste for savories, others have a taste for sweet things. And ever since the very beginning it was like that. We have that taste from previous lifetimes, probably. So that is a material taste. But the spiritual taste will be just what kind of love we have with Krishna. It's easy to say we are eternal servants of Krishna. What kind of servants are we? What kind of taste, of what kind of love we want to develop, or we with Krishna? What kind of love? There are different kinds of love, all kinds of shades of love. Takes the love of Masa Yashoda with Krishna. That's a very special love. Because it has been stated, there is not so much written about the love of Masa Yashoda with Krishna, because it's such a high level of love, not many people are there who will understand it. So what kind of love do the Sakas have with Krishna? There are a good number of descriptions, like Amrita Radhe was mentioning. We have the book is here of Circle of Friends. So that friendship, what kind of love is that? What kind of love does Madhu Mangal have? What kind of love does Sridham have? And the different Sakas, what kind of love? Everyone has, they're all Sakya Ras, but everyone has an individual relationship with Krishna. What about, you speak about the Gopis' love? What is the love of Srimati Radharani? That's the highest perfection of love for Krishna. And then along with that love, That is a rasa, a taste. And along with that love come spiritual emotions. Love means emotions in this material world. If I love someone, I have some feelings in my heart. I have some emotion. In the spiritual world also, we cultivate that love for Krishna in any of the rasas. Then we are on a very safe side of our development of Krishna consciousness, because that will be the pulling factor. If we have, or we are in the process of developing a specific love in relation to Krishna, then that love is so strong, and Krishna, after all, it means so all attractive. Krishna is all attractive. That's a general description. But we are attracted to a particular type of relationship, a particular type of prema, of love with Krishna. That is so strong the attraction to that will pull us out of the material world in this very lifetime. And we are supposed to. Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, he intended that all his disciples will reach the pure devotional platform, will become pure devotees. He wanted a society of pure devotees. Therefore, on almost every page of Bhagavad Gita, pure devotional service is described. In almost every verse, pure devotion, free from karma and jnana, anapilasita shunyan, jnana karma anavritam. That's pure devotion. That we have to aim. There may be some contamination there of karma and jnana, but karma and jnana, if they're employed with the goal of bhakti, they can be accepted. But if karma and jnana are devoid of bhakti and they're not heading towards bhakti, they become material. Let's think that in. Because some persons are attracted by karma and jnana. They like mental speculation, jnanis. Or they like fruitive activities. They like to enjoy the fruit of their work. My money, I will enjoy. So more money, so better. In all the varieties of enjoyment in this material world. But if we are attracted by that prema, in a particular prema, in a particular rasa with Krishna, that attachment is so strong, it will break all the attachments we have to karma and jnana, and our Krishna consciousness will become pure. So Vijay, anything more? Sorry, I got involved more than perhaps I should. You were reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What were you reading?
I was reading the impediments to bhakti. Yeah,
Okay.
aparat seva.
Name 1 or 2 or 3 impediments to bhakti. Tell us.
No, I was reading the impediments to seva, to service.
What are the
It's
impediments?
32. And I've read some of them are self-evident.
Pick one.
Okay. Obviously, to tell lies in front of the deity.
Oh yes. Very important. Right. That sometimes if there's a dispute, okay, come in front of the Lord. Now let's sort it out. You cannot tell lies in front of Krishna. Like we're going to court. You tell lies in front of the judge. Very bad. Okay, tell lies in front of the deities. Absolutely a no-no. What else?
Right, okay, so
these are 32 offenses in our seva apparat.
Yeah, so some of them are, for example, to enter the temple wearing sandals, to to offer prayers to the Lord without washing the hands or the mouth after eating. To obviously offer prayers to the Lord in an unclean condition. To offer obeisances of only one hand, I think is one of them.
That's very important.
Yeah.
I see that very often. That's a Hindu ritual. Generally, people have become lazy. They don't offer obeisances, two hands and head down touching the floor. They just with one hand touching the floor and put their hand on their head, and they think that's a proper obeisance. That's not a proper obeisance. Proper obeisance means going down. Of course, if we are in an invalid position, that's different. But obeisance means head down, both hands on the floor. Anything else?
To lie down, that means to lie down in front of the deity. I
Yes,
think lying down in front of
very
the back.
important also. Sometimes some persons who are new to Krishna consciousness sitting down on the ground and stretching out their feet towards the deities. So that is also not is an offense. So if someone cannot cross their legs and stretching out their feet, so if you cannot do that, sit cross legs. So here is a chata, just cover your feet, at least that. Because it's disrespectful, right? We're stretching our feet out. If we just imagine we in front of the king, queen, and we're sitting down and on the floor and we're stretching out our feet. That's not acceptable. Disrespect. Okay, one more. Seva apparat.
To wear a blanket in front of the Lord. You cover yourself in a blanket or something. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, not wearing, if we are a puchari, we shouldn't wear bright red or blue cloth. Why? Ritu and Prabhu, why we don't wear bright, as a puchari on the altar, bright red or blue?
Prabhuji, I'm not sure, but is it like blue and red? They signify modes of passion and ignorance. Is that so? Not
Well,
sure.
these colors are very attractive, right? If a woman wants to dress herself attractive, she wears some red, and they're putting all lipsticks red also, and it's a very strong. All the traffic signs are in red, right? Also the stop signs, and it's very attractive, the color of red. So the puchari attracts the look of the worshippers on himself instead of on Krishna. So therefore we shouldn't do that. Therefore the puchari should also be half hidden by the curtain, right? He stands the curtain which closes the altar, like Bhaktivedanta Manor or any bigger temples. The puchari should not be in full view of the worshippers, because he will distract the worshippers. He should not be completely hidden, because then people become curious. Oh, who is that on the altar? I just see a hand, and so the attention is again focused on the puchari, but half hidden. So these are all very logical regulations. Okay, I think we are 8:30. So this seva apparat, yes, there is so much more in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and one day we will go through Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu from beginning onwards, and it will be very educational to hear all these things. Okay, any other question, anything more? Amit, anything more?
No, Prabhu, no question for me.
Vijay, anything more?
Just one of the offenses. If you shed tears on account of any earthly matter before the Lord. So if you if you shed tears on any kind of material matter or any earthly matter, is that considered strictly an offense? Or...
Yes, because we're going in front of Krishna, and all what is on our mind is some material loss or something like that. So we shouldn't cry in front of the deities. But if we cry for Krishna, that is allowed. But crying for Krishna, there's a very nice story, and with that story we finish. There was some priest lecturing every day to a quite a sizable audience. And he noticed there was one older lady sitting in front of him, and when he started talking, she began to cry. And he thought, oh, how wonderful my lecture is. I'm moving people to cry. How wonderful. He thought of himself as a very wonderful lecturer, moving that lady to cry. Wow. So one day after the lecture, he spoke to that lady. My dear Mataji, I'm lecturing, and every time I'm lecturing you're starting to cry. Could you please tell me what in my lecture moves you to tears? And she said, no, it's not like this. I had recently a goat who died, and the goats have this beard. And this goat, and you have a beard like that, and you remind me of the goat, and therefore I'm crying. So he was devastated, of course. It wasn't his lecture, but his similarity of having a beard like a goat, and her goat died had brought her to tears. No, we don't cry in the temple room. On that note, we stop. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Saturday, hopefully. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.